the most hated movie of all time. Ever since the trailer for Mahesh Bhatt directed Sadak 2 came out on YouTube, the public and the audience has been channeling their inner rage and anger against the nepotism and the gangism in the industry by disliking the video. With 12 million dislikes, the trailer for Sadak 2 is the most hated, most disliked movie trailer on YouTube right now of all time. I watched the movie without any biases or prejudice. I watched it for what it was, just a movie. And now, from my viewing experience, I'll tell you about the plot of the movie, the good bits in the movie, and the downright bad things. So, let's get into it. This movie is the sequel to the 1991 released movie Sadak 1. And do you have to watch that movie to understand this movie?
नहीं
Do you even have to be aware of the fact that there is Sadak 1 out there in order to get this movie?
नहीं
Sadak 2 starts off with Ravi Verma, played by Sanjay Dutt, who is mourning the loss of his wife, is on a suicidal spree. Only for Alia Bhatt, played by Arya, the other way around, only for Arya, played by Alia Bhatt, who barges into his life, knocking down doors. Literally. Like, literally, she bangs his doors down to enter his life and gives him a reason to live. Her own life's purpose is to expose the fake Guruji, Gyan Prakash, played relatively well by Makaran Deshpande, who is a godman conning his worshippers. Aditya Roy Kapoor in the movie drinks, sings, and carries around a guitar. Or maybe that was Ashiki 2, or every other movie that is played. So that is all there is to the plot of the movie. It has a couple of really good twists that if they would have implemented well, it could have been a good movie. But the implementation, well. That is what brings us to the bad aspects in the movie. And the first of them is the direction.
सर ये तो टट्टी है
Now I know it might sound like a anti-Mahesh Bhatt kind of rant, but trust me, the movie is very dated. Like all the scene transitions, all the character choices, the way the story unfolds, the way the scenes are shot, everything in the movie is very dated. Like it feels like a 90s movie. The scenes in the movie, that the way they have been shot, we have seen that 100 times before, like 1,000 times before. Like Alia Bhatt's hand on one side of the glass, Aditya Roy Kapoor's hand on the other side of the glass in the romance scene. I think we have had enough of that, and the masala that the movie is using to make it a Bollywood thriller is really expired. Even the editing of the movie is very amateurish. The transition of one scene to the next, the screen fades out completely at least 15 times throughout the runtime. It feels like the movie was edited on an app like KineMaster. It disrupts the entire flow, which brings us to the point of the background music. The background music in the movie is blaring at one point. It's like bum, 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 and it stops out of nowhere only for the characters to start talking. It is very disruptive, the entire flow of the movie. Which brings us to screenplay. The screenplay of the movie, I really want to know what the makers were high on while making it. And Owl is fighting the bad guys. Sanjay Dutt orders the owl that he's meeting for the first time in his life. The owl is not a trained owl man or a Batman. But Sanjay Dutt is like, Ja Kumkaran dikha de apna kamal, and the owl goes and starts fighting the bad guys. The dialogues in the movie are really funny. I'll quote a few of them out for you guys. मेरे जिंदगी की सबसे हसीन सुबह मैं जलाकर राख कर दूंगा इस सड़क पर भगवान हमारा साथ देगा and my favorite out of the entire lot is hi mommy. That is how comical the dialogues in the movie are. It just feels random, just like the placement of songs in the movie. They're out of nowhere just before the climax. The character starts singing. Everything feels bizarre. Mental health and mental illness are very sensitive topics, and the way they have been handled in this movie are very blunt and brutal. Sanjay Dutt at one point in the movie takes a psychiatric guidance, is being advised this. आप mental hospital में हमारे admission ले लो. Alia Bhatt is threatening to slit her wrist with a broken glass bottle, and that is a comedy scene. And Aditya Roy Kapoor is banging his head on a bar counter because he has a alcohol problem, a drug issue. The mother of Alia Bhatt has her head colored with kumkum just because she is having a breakdown. And the way these scenes have been portrayed, the way this issue has been portrayed in the movie, just feels very unrealistic. And these characters are the same people who have played some really good roles in other movies. You know, Alia Bhatt in the movie Dear Zindagi has portrayed the issues so realistically. I do not know and understand how the actors agree to doing all of this, because these are some really good actors. Okay, I really loved Alia Bhatt's work in movies like Gully Boy, Highway, and Urta Punjab, most especially. Even Aditya Roy Kapoor, even though he's playing the same character again and again, was at least convincing in the movie Ashiki 2. Sanjay Dutt basically plays himself in the movie, so like there's no good or bad acting on his part. He's just always Sanjay Dutt in every movie that he plays. The other supporting actors in the movie are very loud, and basically this is a very over the top movie. And I do not think it is the fault of the actors themselves, because the way the movie is made, the way the movie has been directed, I think the creators just failed to utilize the good talent that they had at their disposal. Now, talking about the good bits in the movie, it is not something that the movie has or is, but rather the potential behind the script, something that the movie could have been. Think about this. A grieving person finds a reason to live. A girl who takes against a con Guruji. A fake Guruji who is conning his worshippers. A drug addict, a cunning stepmother, a caring father, many villains, and an owlman. There is so much going on in the movie. Add on to the fact that there are a couple of good twists that you did not see coming, but the way the movie is created, the way the idea is implemented is rather very, very loose. The writing, directing, acting, everything in the movie is loose, and that is the word I'll go with. It is a loose movie. Alright, guys, that was the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, like and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel, it means a lot. I'll see you next time. Until then, later.